welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. The closer you get to the date of the Bhumi Pujan in Ayodhya for the Ram Mandir, the more bizarre objections to the ceremony are heard. The latest problem to be flagged up is the live telecast of the Bhumi Pujan, which will last for just over a couple of hours on the 5th of August. Now, this live broadcast was to take place on Doordarshan. But before that could happen, Member of Parliament from the CPI, Binod Viswam, has shot off a letter to the Information and Broadcasting Minister arguing that since mobilization around Ram Janambhoomi has been a source of conflict and disharmony in the country and has left indelible fissures in society, the national broadcaster should not play a religious function. Why? Because according to the Member of Parliament, such a telecast would be contrary to accepted norms of national integrity.
On the 6th of December 1992, Babri Masjid, a place of worship which is now 20 years old, it's a place of worship of 400 years old, was demolished. And I am quite sure that the reasonable thinking people in the BJP itself will not subscribe to what has happened on that day. And now the people in power, the ultra-rightist religious sentiments in that party and ideology are trying to celebrate that insult on the Indian secularism. That's why national broadcaster is roped in to celebrate that. I feel this is a bad precedent. Please don't do it. It's my request to the government. The government can accept it, the government can reject it. But I have a right to inform the government how I, as a citizen, look at it. That's all. No, those people urging for a live broadcast are not concerned about the poor Indians. They have no concern for the COVID fight. They have no concern for the social distancing. Only they want to make a psychological victory over the Indian minorities, Indian secularists, the people who uphold the constitution, even the millions of Hindus who know the real Hindu values and ethos.
So just a broadcast of the groundbreaking ceremony apparently will go against the very secular character of our country. However, here's a really quick reality check for all the objections raised. The Bhumi Pujan, whose broadcast is being called communal, is being done after a due legal process was followed to the T. And this legal process did not take place over a decade or two. It took over a century. And if the left thinks that state organizations should stay away from all religious functions, then can someone explain to us what is the reason behind past precedents when various religious festivals and gatherings have found plenty of place on the state broadcaster? It's quite clear that these objections at best are superfluous. Is this then opposition to the temple for the sake of opposition? All right, joining me on the debate now, we've got R.P. Singh, National Secretary of the BJP, Vishnu Jain, lawyer for Ram Janambhoomi, Professor Sangeet Ragi of the RSS, Vivek Srivastav and Ravi Srivastav, both gentlemen are political analysts. But my first question is to the spokesperson of the CPIM, who's also an MLA, Mr. A.N. Shamseer. So, I've been over this letter again and again. Can you please distill for me the thoughts behind this letter? What exactly is the objection to Doordarshan showing the groundbreaking ceremony for 2 hours?
Religion is not in the history of the world. It has always been divisive. I'm saying we must throw the baby out of the bathwater. But I think religion is the best kept private.
Right.
Misusing the Doordarshan made to appear to be a private issue. One drop of venom is enough to poison a pot of milk. One bite from a king cobra is enough to destroy the body politic.
Who's the king cobra here? I'm talking about the Mandir Bhumi Pujan. Where are cobras coming into the argument?
Look, they are trying to communalize this issue.
Who?
We are in a pandemic situation. The BJP
Who?
and Sangh Parivar.
Who is trying to communalize?
Yeah, BJP and the Sangh Parivar.
How?
Look, they have destroyed, they have demolished the
Sir, no. You're saying that through this mandir construction, BJP and Sangh Parivar are communalizing. Quote to me the statement where a communal comment was made about the Bhumi Pujan. I have a very direct issue at hand right now. Why can't Doordarshan telecast Bhumi Pujan? Please give me the reason for this objection. Not a generic lecture on the history of the Ram Janambhoomi dispute. Please answer my specific question. Why can't Doordarshan broadcast the groundbreaking ceremony?
Look, it is against the Prasar Bharati Act. And also in a secular democracy, state practice and organization must be kept devoid of religious inclination. So Doordarshan is the part of state. So states should keep away such action.
So you're saying that Doordarshan should never have broadcast any religious program at all?
No, in this juncture, look, our nation is facing a threat. We are in a pandemic situation. What's happening there?
Sir, you are now shifting the goalposts. Answer my question. Should Doordarshan not broadcast any religious program or gathering? Yes or no?
Look, Ram Janambhoomi temple in Ayodhya has been a source of conflict and disharmony in the country for decades. So,
what is the conflict? The Supreme Court has given a go-ahead for the construction of the Ram temple. Where's the conflict now?
Look,
why are you creating a conflict where there is none?
The Prasar Bharati Act, which governs the functioning of Doordarshan in section 12(2) clause A, clearly states that its objective is upholding the unity and integrity of the country and the values of enshrined in the Constitution.
Mr. Shamseer, you know, in the last 5 minutes since I started the debate, you have gone from objection to objection. First, you said don't do it during COVID. Then you said don't do it because it's, state should stay away from religion. Now you're talking about the Prasar Bharati Act. So I will answer all of your questions one by one. Let me start with the last one. Everyone selectively quotes from the Prasar Bharati Act. No, just a second. Let's not give half-truths to misinform, mislead. And when you say, sir, that this issue has been the source of communal trouble, it is exactly moves like this, letters like this, that sow the seed for that communal trouble. You are creating trouble where there is none. Nobody has a problem with people watching this on Doordarshan. You don't want to watch it, switch off your TV. Watch a movie. Watch something interesting. Watch a work of fiction. Why do you want to deprive people who believe in Ram Mandir the opportunity to watch the Bhumi Pujan? This, sir, is provocation. And since you talk about the Prasar Bharati Act, let me quote from section 12(2)(b), which is being quoted by Mr. Binoy Viswam. He's quoting 12(2)(a). Let me read you the full section, sir. Please, no. Let me read you the full section because these are the half-truths that are used to vitiate the atmosphere. Now, what does 12(2)(b) says? Doordarshan will safeguard the citizens' right to be informed freely, truthfully and objectively on all matters. Don't devotees of Lord Ram, people who waited, people who have faith in the Ram Mandir, deserve to be informed objectively and completely about what's happening in Ayodhya, Mr. Shamseer?
Look, in my point of view, in a secular democracy, state practice and organization must be kept devoid of religious inclination.
Really?
And attempts must be made to ensure the religious sentiments of all communities are respected.
Really? So then tell me this, in 2013, and let me get an RP Singh on this as well, this whole distance between apparatus, state apparatus and religion happens only with certain religions. Other things are allowed to go in the name of secular democracy. We can show in 2013 live broadcast of the entire papal conference. Entire papal conference, the election of a new pope in 2013 was done for a full 12 hours on Doordarshan. Why did you not stand up then, Mr. Shamseer, and say that there should be no involvement of Doordarshan in religious matters or in religious gatherings? Why does the papal conference have to be on the national broadcaster of India?
I am briefing my point.
But why didn't you raise this point in 2013, sir? 2013 you had no problem.
The full 2-hour event. That is the need. What is the need of that? We are not suggesting the complete blackout. We are suggesting you can show the news. But what is the need of full coverage of that show.
What is the need for full coverage of the papal conference? Yeah. When the Pope was being elected, you show that for 12 hours. Why? That was shown in entirety, then you didn't have a problem.
Look, BJP and Sangh Parivar is trying to make it out as a...
Sir, nobody cares for the BJP and Sangh Parivar. The Ram temple does not belong to the BJP and Sangh Parivar. It belongs to the devotees. And the devotees want to see what's happening. First you say, don't allow for a gathering there, which is fine. There should be social distancing. People cannot gather in large numbers. So where do you expect the rest of the devotees to see the Ram temple, the prayers?
Shall I speak? Shall I speak? Will you allow me to speak?
Sir, that's the only thing you've been doing. You're the only one who's been speaking and you're jumping from argument to argument, not even supporting, not even giving one reason to support your argument. You just keep running around in circles and basically the intent is, don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Why? You want to watch the election of the Pope. Nobody stopped you. Nobody wrote any letters, RP Singh. Then why is it that just this one function is vitiating the entire secular atmosphere of the country? What is being done? That is so painful, I don't understand. RP Singh.
It was not only the celebration of the Pope. Even Mother Teresa's function was shown. Even
has been shown many a times. Even I take pride. Kartarpur corridor function, the stone breaking function was shown. I mean, what is it? I mean, why make it communal? I mean, you show anything, and then especially Ram is not confined to particular community. Ram is a deity for all 130 crore people of the country. And let me tell you, Jake, you were talking about Babri Masjid. Babri Masjid was never a masjid. It was a disputed structure, sir. And let me refer to you. Guru Granth Sahib. Let me quote you from Guru Granth Sahib. In Guru Granth Sahib, it's only about Babur. It is written. His atrocities have been written in Guru Granth Sahib. And it has been categorically stated. I'll just take a minute and it's very important for you. Lord Dost taken Khorsana. Khorsana means it came from Khorsana, from Afghanistan. Under thy wing, but yielded into the invader's wrath. Yet thou talk not blame and sendest a Mughal as the messenger of death. He was quoted as messenger of death. Babur has been quoted as messenger of death in Shri Guru Granth Sahib. Sir, so you talk about that Babur and you talk about masjid of that Babur against the people of the country, wishes of the 130 crore people of the country.
Mr. Srivastava. And now you are going to define exactly how much of the coverage will be allowed. That you should show 2-minute packages or you should have, a 30-second bulletin ender. Why? There are devotees who want to see the entire process. If it's a 2-hour-long puja, people want to see it for 2 hours. If it's 10 hours, people want to see it for 10 hours. And why not? Vivek Srivastava.
Why, yes. Yes. Number one, the clause you mentioned, which Mr. Vinay Vishram mentioned, it has the word information, not celebration. You are not informing about the Ram Mandir. You are celebrating the Ram Mandir.
Section 12(2)(d) of the Prasar Bharati Act. You know what 12(2)(d) says? The broadcaster will provide adequate coverage to diverse cultures and languages of various regions of the country. Diverse cultures and languages. If you can see the canonization of Mother Teresa, then you can also see the entire Bhumi Pujan. Irrespective of how long it is. Diverse cultures.
Mother Teresa did not stand for communal rights. Mother Teresa did not symbolize religious monuments. But this is an issue.
This is ridiculous, sir. This is exactly the kind of communalization that is not needed. What you are talking about is a different case altogether. It is still in the court. It is being heard. Are you saying that people who worship Lord Ram are all communal?
And this is not a Hindu Rashtra. This is a secular country.
Of course. So which is why people deserve the right to see the Bhumi Pujan.
His origin is a Hindu. You want to hear this out? I am saying as a fact. Every Indian by origin.
This is a secular country
Indian
and the state machinery is not there to promote your concept of Hindu Rashtra.
You should go and
Ambedkar ka constitution hai.
You only know last Ram. You don't know anything about Sanskriti. So every Indian, every countryman belongs to Hindu Sanskriti.
I don't believe in your Sanskriti. I believe in physics.
Okay, so this is a secular country. This is a secular country. Now, for everyone on the panel, I want to expose what the secular definition of gentlemen like Vivek Srivastava, Mr. Shamseer and Ravi Srivastava is. And Professor Sangeet Ragi, you can then come in on this. Very interesting images that I'm now going to show to all of you of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. When she was Prime Minister, she went for the centenary celebrations of Deoband Seminary. It was broadcast live on Doordarshan. What happened then, Ravi Srivastava? Then wasn't secularism in danger? This is a secular democracy. You can't show Ram Mandir because it is not a Hindu Rashtra. Are we a Deoband Rashtra then? Why was the centenary celebration of a seminary broadcast live on Doordarshan in entirety? Professor Sangeet Ragi. Now tell me what is the definition of secular democracy.
Okay, Padmaja, first of all,
for Mr. Modi.
Padmaja, please, Padmaja, first of all, the murderer of Indian civilization, the killer of Indian civilization, the comrades, Kongi, and those who follow jihadi Islam, they cannot speak for India. Second point, the comrades are lunatic, irrelevant fringe in this country today. And therefore, they never, and in the past also, there never has been for the Indian civilization. There never has a sense of respect for the Indian civilization. So you cannot expect anything good for them as far as India or Bharatiya culture is concerned. These are the Indian people who represent the Chinese mind and Chinese heart on Indian soil. They always have been standing for tukde elements of this country.
A.N. Shamseer.
So therefore, you know, Ram has been a unifier. The Prophet has been divider.
No, please, I don't want this kind of commentary about any religion. The thing is, A.N. Shamseer, everyone has the right to celebrate their own religion. Please do not keep poking fun and objecting to people of one religion because you know it's okay. All of this will pass in the name of secular democracy.
To create, vitiate the Indian atmosphere. Why?
Tell him to allow me to speak. Tell that gentleman to allow me
A.N.
to speak.
Shamseer, secularism has to apply to everyone. You cannot say that the Deoband Seminary's celebration, Darul Uloom celebration, is secular. But Ram Temple Bhumi Pujan is communal. Why? This is insulting, sir.
We are not, look, we are not against Ram. We are respecting the sentiments of Ram. Ram is a Maryada Purushottam. Ram is a Maryada Purushottam and an ideal man. I learned from the epic. But unfortunately, somebody is taking Ram to get power. That we are against the communalism. Those who is taking Ram for getting power. That's your objective.
Sir, how is this? I don't understand. If somebody wants to sit at home and participate in a puja that is happening, if they believe in the Ram temple and it's happened after 500 years, how is that about the BJP? Are you saying every single viewer on television, Ravi Srivastava, is going to be from the BJP and the RSS? You don't want to watch?
Padmaja, first of all, a national broadcaster should concentrate only on the issues which are of the national importance. A temple, Bhumi Pujan, not a national event. It's a religious event. And a religious event should not get prominence on a national broadcaster. I am a Hindu, but I practice my Hinduism inside the four walls of my house.
Good for you, sir. Good for you. But there are people who want to see the Ram Mandir. Exactly. That is the beauty of the religion, that Sanatan Dharma allows you to decide what your religion is. It allows you to define how your religion is going to be practiced. Just like nobody is dragging you out of your house to say, no, you come to Ayodhya. You don't have the right to mock people who do want to see this Bhumi Pujan on TV. Who are you to decide for everyone? Who are you to decide for everyone, Mr. Srivastava?
Yes,
there are devotees who genuinely want to watch it.
Object. I, as a citizen, I have a right to object. I will do it. Nobody can stop me.
You have the right to object, but you do not have the right to say that this is not important. How can you say it is not important, sir? Maybe it's not important to you. It is important to RP Singh. It is important to Vishnu Jain. Vishnu Jain, if he wants to see it on TV, you cannot shame him into thinking you should be watching a documentary on COVID instead, Vishnu Jain. Why aren't you watching a documentary? Why do you want to watch this Bhumi Pujan? Are you a Sanghi? Are you a Bhakt? Are you a bigot?
Padmaja, just give me 30 seconds.
Vishnu Jain.
Padmaja, the point here is that we are troubled and pained by the ideology of communist and the leftist intellectuals. And let me ask today all the leftist intellectuals a very pertinent question, that whether the concept of secularism applies to Prasar Bharati Act. Whether section 12D, which you have rightly quoted, Padmaja, in my legal opinion, whether section 12D says that you can cover all cultures in the country.
Yes,
secularism
that you should cover all cultures. The Prasar Bharati Act says you should cover all cultures.
Point. Let all the leftist intellectual counter me on this point. If you are a leftist intellectual, Binoy Vishwam, and you are a legislator, counter me on this point. Have you read the judgment of Allahabad High Court of 1st January 1993, where Justice H.N. Tillari has said that Lord Ram is the constitutional deity. Lord Ram is the constitutional etho. And today when the Bhav Ram temple is going to be inaugurated, you being a leftist intellectual and a member of a parliament, you are objecting to it. What legal right you have? And what communists have done, you are propagating the theory of Karl Marx in India. It will never work. This kind of theory of Karl Marx, that religion is the opium of mankind, won't work in India. It won't work. And the concept of socialism, and we know what Karl, and let me tell you, a very pertinent question. They are propagating theory of Karl Marx. I have read an article of Karl Marx of 25th July 1853, where he has criticized Hindu deities.
Sir, who is creating a community? You know, what you are saying, just a second. You know, I want to debunk this bogey of how the construction of the Ram temple and the ceremonies are a communal dog whistle. Just a second. I want silence from both the panelists. Now, for anyone who gets taken in by this misinformation, misleading that the entire process is going to spark communal riots, do you know what is being done for the construction of the temple? Water from Gurudwaras, from Valmiki Mandirs are being taken from across the country to Ayodhya, so that this water taken from, because you keep saying that Hindu religion is anti-Dalit, from a Dalit temple water is going to be taken and used for the construction of the Ram Mandir. Ram Bhakts from across the country, Vivek Srivastav, who are Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, they are in Ayodhya. They are walking to Ayodhya so they can perform a perfunctory car seva and do their bit for the building of the Ram Mandir. Are you going to call all of those people BJP agents as well? That, sir, is your problem. The moment somebody says, I have personal faith, you will say, you're a Sanghi. You are a what? Khaki nikkar. And this sort of denigration and mocking has to stop at some point, sir.
You are all only to benefit the BJP vote politics. That's all.
It is only there to benefit the vote. Stop mocking with our religion.
Sir, just a second. All of you are, okay, just, can I please reduce everyone's audio? It doesn't help for all of you to keep screaming BJP Sangh at an interval of 10 seconds. So, Vivek Srivastav, you go first.
First of all, please listen to me. Dalits were never an equal part of the society. Because of the upper caste dominance.
And yet, they are going to participate in the construction of the Ram Mandir as anyone else.
No.
That is the difference, Vivek Srivastav. You would never let people emerge from their little ghettos because it doesn't suit you. This is what is happening in Ayodhya. I am telling you, I have seen with my own eyes.
It is the caste difference.
Water is being taken in Kalash from Delhi, from other parts of the country, only to contribute for the construction of the Ram temple. This is what you call communal agenda, whereas this is a unifying agenda.
You are second-grade citizens.
This gentleman,
you are giving a message to the Muslims by this telecast that they are second-grade citizens.
Of our constitution, the constitution which was drafted, the original constitution has a Ram Darbar.
Exactly.
In which there was the Ram Darbar. So was the founding father of the constitution who drafted the constitution?
ये symbolic quotation से कुछ नहीं होता.
These comrades are the lunatic fringe. They should not be given any importance at all.
They are the murderers of Indian civilization. They are the murderers of Indian culture. They are the one people who has destroyed.
Bigger lunatic.
They are the ones.
You are the fascist.
Who supported.
You are fanatic.
You know.
You are only dividing
These
the communities in this country. You are dividing on communal lines.
Mr. Ravi Srivastava, again, I have a simple example that I keep presenting to you. If you have Mrs. Gandhi going to Darul Uloom Deoband, if you have the election of the Pope, all of it on the Indian broadcaster, how are these two events any different from the Bhumi Pujan at Ayodhya? Name me one difference between these two, the papal conference and the Darul Uloom Deoband centenary celebrations, and the Bhumi Pujan on the other. One difference, Ravi Srivastava, and don't give me rhetoric. Don't just keep saying this is about BJP agenda. Purely on facts, tell me what is the difference between the three. Tell me the difference.
The conference was opposed by anybody. Did anybody oppose that?
No, it wasn't. That's the whole point. Why are you opposing this?
The papal conference is not a Bhumi Pujan.
It is a religious ceremony.
Ram produces Taliban.
It is a religious ceremony.
You don't show it. Who stopped?
Doordarshan showed it.
But the Deoband.
Oh, let them show it.
So then what is the problem with Bhumi Pujan? Why can't Doordarshan show Bhumi Pujan?
This is a show. This is a show. This is a drama. This is a naughty. You want to encash the name of God for your religious, for your communal use. You want to divide the community.
So sad. Sir, you know,
not at all sad.
You know, I Ravi Srivastava, I will just say that when you so casually and in such a cavalier fashion dismiss the belief of people as a drama, it is hurtful, sir. It is very hurtful. Like you said, Vishnu Jain, like Mr. Srivastava said, for him, his devotion is to sit in his house and pray to his God. Why can't the freedom of other people who do want to go to Ayodhya, who do want to see what's happening in Ayodhya, be similarly respected?
No, it is not, Padmaja. The belief is not for a public.
Sir, you will not like it. I am sorry, just a second. Mr. Srivastava, you won't like it if I told you that since you sit at home, since you don't even go to the mandir, you are a fraud. Would you like it? You won't like it, right? Which is why I will never say it. Because your faith is personal to you. Similarly, the faith of hundreds of people who want to see the Bhumi Pujan on Doordarshan is personal to them. And you have got no right to mock them for it. And to say that this is a drama. It may be a drama for you. What you do may seem drama to Vishnu Jain. And it's very cavalier the way you can just say things like,
Padmaja,
it's all drama, it's all fixed, it's all political. It's not.
Padmaja, this kind of controversy and these kind of comments are coming from the theory of Karl Marx, which he has propagated on 25th June 1853, when he had made mockery of the entire Hindu culture, an entire Hindu religion. And today these communists are making mockery of our culture, and on a national television they are making these bizarre statements, making mockery of our belief and faith. Let me ask you, this is not a communist country either. And Justice Harinath Lahiri, in his judgment of 1st January 1993, has said that Lord Ram is a constitutional entity, he is a constitutional deity. And today when the Supreme Court has cleared the way for the construction of Ram temple on 9 November 2019, and today when we are going to construct the temple, what pain you have? When we are following all the provisions of Prasar Bharati Act under section 12D, why don't we have a right to go and broadcast that important event which we have waited for 500 years? And Padmaja, I am pained. Today I am pained by the comments of this communist lobby, because the way they are making mockery of our belief and faith, it's completely derogatory, and it is, I must tell you that all these things are an offense under section 295A, and this must not be allowed on your channel. You are saying that Dalits are not part of our culture. What kind of comment?
Because that's the narrative you want to propagate. Tomorrow, if some Dalit car sevak stands up and says that I have come to Ayodhya to pray to Lord Ram, where will all of these narratives about Dalits being second-rate citizens in the country go? In the caste hierarchy? I mean, God forbid a Muslim should stand up and say that I think Lord Ram is also somebody I worship and revere. Then what will happen to the Islamophobic narrative? RP Singh.
Padmaja, all their objections have been demolished well by you and by the other panelists also. When they talk about constitution or the law as per the Prasar Bharati Act, it categorically states
It happened. When you show the president, they don't have any answer to the president. I think the bigger question is their political masters, they never believed in Ram. I mean, Sonia Gandhi's UPA-led government has challenged the very existence of Ram, and it was supported by the left party then. And thereafter, he said, I'm a Janeudari Hindu, and he wore a Janeu over a coat. And then later on, they became a Muslim party and said, we are a Muslim. On a court, they said, we are a Muslim party. Now again, they are opposing. I mean, in court, they oppose the construction of the Ram temple now. And now they are saying, why celebration on the occasion of the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram temple? Why it should be shown on the TV channel? Sir, it was in your time.
When arguments are given that this kind of a broadcast militates against the secular nature of our country. Mr. Binoy Viswam, when he was speaking to us earlier, even said it's a waste of money. Some people say this Bhumi Pujan is not necessary. Sir, this is exactly the kind of language which breeds anguish over time, where just one set of beliefs of one religion is dismissed as perfunctory and unnecessary. You cannot decide for others what is necessary for them and what their faith and belief should be. Just like in a secular democracy, you say your beliefs, what you eat, who you pray to, should not be dictated to you. So please, let's keep the definition of secular impartial for everyone. Thank you very much for joining us on this debate, in the hope that such needless controversies are not kicked up again and again. 8 days left.